Bang Bang MMA gang. Now, Carlos Prates versus Neil Magny. Now, in my opinion, this fight makes Carlos Prates boost all the way up to a superstar. We know Carlos Prates is a guy to where he's aesthetically pleasing to watch. Pause. But his kicks, his knockouts, him going straight for the finish is aesthetically pleasing to the fans. So his fighting style is already superstar level. He got a nice personality, but he speaks English as well. The only thing wrong with Carlos Prates is he's not brash. He's not gonna come out and say, "I'm gonna knock you out." That's the only thing wrong with Carlos Prates. But Carlos Prates versus Neil Magny, I think he absolutely demolishes Neil Magny and makes Neil Magny think about quitting. Now, recently we've seen Neil Magny get submitted by Gilbert Burns. We've seen him get knocked out by Michael Moraes. We've seen him constantly get battered by Ian Gary. We've seen him do all that stuff, all those losings. But we also seen him just beat Mike Malott, a guy in which we thought Mike Malott is a soaring superstar that's going to be champion one day. He derailed him and now has Mike Malott fighting like an absolute scrub. He fought Trevin Giles last night or a couple days ago, and Mike Malott was like kind of gassed. He kind of exposed Mike Malott. We have Neil Magny to thank for that. So when all these young guys come and we tout them as the next big thing, Neil Magny is the stepping stone. We want to see if you can get past the Neil Magny test. Michael Moraes did it. Ian Gary did it. A lot of these fighters are doing it, and now Mike Malott failed, even though he beat Trevor Giles a couple days ago. But Mike Malott failed. Can Carlos Prates beat him? I think yes. It's going to be so hard for Neil Magny to check those calf kicks. We really haven't seen Carlos Prates grappling. Neil Magny, we all know if he gets close, he's going to try to clinch, trying to ride the fence, get those elbows in, try to take him down, hold him down in the half guard, see if he can get back up. We really haven't seen Carlos Prates pushed like that. Now, that could be a big thing for Neil Magny. But outside of that, I think he keeps the distance, makes Neil Magny respect him by knees up the middle, so much stuff, maybe defends one takedown, and gets a brutal KO. Now, what does that mean for the welterweight division? I think when Carlos Prates brutally knocks out Neil Magny, I think if I'm him, I'm going straight for Jeff Neal. I'm not doing the MVP. I'm not doing the Michael Moraes. I'm not doing none of that. I'm calling out Jeff Neal. Why? Jeff Neal is a good opponent. He just knocked out via injury RDA. He has a good win on his record. He is a guy that took Shavkat to war, quote unquote. Jeff Neal is the perfect next fight. You beat Neil Magny, you call out Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal is not a big name. You might probably do this in another Apex main event. Brutally knock out Jeff Neal. Then you call out Colby Covington. You call out JDM. I don't think he will fight Gilbert Burns because they're close and the Brazilian and all that, but we all know Burns will fight literally anybody. But I don't think they'll make the Burns fight. If he brutally knocks him out, I think he can fight the loser of Buckley Gary. He could call out so many names. This kid is going to be the champion of the welterweight division in the next 5 years. He will hold that belt one time, I promise you. The fighting nerds, we know, top of the food chain guys, him, Mauricio Rufy, Gene Silva, all these guys are top of the food chain guys. Kyle Bahayo, they're good, but this guy has potential to be one of the best. Now, when you're always the hammer, it's easy for people to overrate you. What happens when you're the nail? Pause. When you're the one getting pushed back, when you're hurt, we really haven't seen stuff like that from Carlos Prates. Outside of that, I think he brutally knocks out Neil Magny, calls out Jeff Neal, brutally knocks out Jeff Neal, and that is that. He is going to be champion one day, mark my words, and that is that. Make sure to subscribe, tell a friend, the MMA gang is in, that is that.